From Lampasas to Nashville with just a few bucks and big dreams, songwriter David Lee celebrated a big milestone this week. 6 News anchor Lindsay Lippman sat down with him at his Hall of Fame induction in Austin.
Songwriting was something David Lee was just born to do, and as he tells me, Texas made him a songwriter long before he made it to Music City. David was just inducted into the Texas Songwriters Hall of Fame, and I got to hear his story and the new dreams he's building back home in Lampasas. It all starts with a song, but David Lee reminds us,
this is David Lee.
It really starts with a songwriter.
Feels like I blinked my eye and went from a child to going into the Hall of Fame is kind of strange because all my heroes were there and I still feel like the kid, you know, and it went really fast. You know, it was a beautiful, beautiful ride.
He buckled up for that roller coaster after an early childhood moving around Texas, at times feeling like there was no seatbelt, but eventually landed in Lampasas.
You know, I didn't know my dad till I was 12. I think I had such an interesting childhood, and I had so much I wanted to say that I needed to get out of me. It wound up being like a therapy thing when I was a kid.
Making music turned out to be a slow burn that ignited generations before him.
At 10 years old, I was thinking, this is what I want to do. My grandfather did it. My dad did it. And so now I'm doing it.
And when his moment came,
I think it was meant to be. I think this had been my journey.
It lit the fuse.
After I got to know my dad, I was in 6th grade. And him and my uncle taught me Bad Leroy Brown and learned to sing that all the way through. And I went into the talent show and I won the school talent show and I became this kid that everybody wanted to talk to. And I thought, man, being a new kid in school, as long as I can break out that guitar, they're going to invite me to the cool party. They're going to let me go hang out with them. So it became my way of communicating with the world. And it still is.
Nashville was next with the love of his life, Stacy.
We went to Nashville with $400. And we left Dallas. And we just got married 30 days before that. And my mom was like, you're doing every country music mistake there is. You're going to take this new girl off to Nashville where you had no money. You don't know. I said, Mom, I don't know. If I don't go, I won't know. I got to go.
David got his first cut from Terry Clark with the song This Old Heart. And a string of success followed. A Grammy nomination for I Need You and hit after hit with Cody Johnson.
And I still write songs every day. I mentor and work with songwriters. I love it. I love to see the crowd smile or get the double entendre, the joke. You know, it's. I think there's something. I think God lives in it, and as it keeps me close to God.
I could patch it up if this old heart was built like a truck.
It was a nugget of truth, gifted from his hero, Billy Joe Shaver, that always stuck. You gotta keep your try up. And David never stopped trying.
The hours, the sheer will. I mean, I spent most of my life sitting in a room staring at a blank piece of paper for 8-10 hours a day, looking out the window on Broadway, trying to think of something to write. You know, it's every day digging and digging, and most of the time you get nothing for it. It's a wasted day. Every day is a wasted day until you write something the world loves. And then they're going to love the song, but they're not even going to know who you are. And that's okay. Songwriters don't do it for the credit, but we still need to be aware that they're human beings and they have to be paid, they have to eat, they have to be taken care of some way. And they're not being.
Which is why he started the nonprofit Texas Songwriter Relief Fund to help when songwriters need it most.
I was injured a couple of years ago in Key West in a scooter accident. And I almost died, and I got out of that, and I thought, man, I need to do something. So many people are so good to me.
So I'm a very lucky individual, man. I left Lampasas, Texas back in 1994 with a brand new wife and $400. I could spit through the floorboard of my pickup truck and hit the highway. It was convenient back then. I know I'm a lucky man. God's given me a pretty fair hand. Got a house and a piece of few dollars and a coffee can. My old truck's still running good. My Techner's teching like they say it should. I got supper in in the oven, a good woman's loving. One more day to be my little girl's dad. Lord knows I'm a lucky man.
If music is the tie that binds the Lee family tree, its newest branch is bearing fruit with daughter Jessie Lee.
She did it all on her own. I tried to get her to go to college. I sent her to private school. I didn't want any music. The industry has changed so much. You're not going to make a good living being a songwriter professionally. That doesn't exist like I did. So you're going to have to be an artist. And she's like, well, then I'll just do that. And I'm like, yeah, but the artist thing is a whole different animal. And she's like, yeah, but Dad, I want to write songs and I want my songs to be heard. And if I have to sing them, that's what I'm going to do.
David is back home in Texas, riding with veterans through Operation Song.
I grew up with a fourth ID, so to try to help them some and with PTSD and that kind of stuff is a good thing. And we get to sit down with them, and they dump everything out, all their marriages and their life and all their stuff. And you've got to try to find, in that 8 hours you spend with them, you have to find one thing that you can grab onto and start writing this song in front of them while they're telling you stories. And it's a very difficult thing to do for a writer, but it is something, and my daughter does it all the time. And she's like, Dad, it's so healing. It hurts. It's like you carry this stuff with you when you leave. It's a big weight because you take that burden that they're feeling and you try to turn it into something.
In a letter from home.
But it's beautiful when it's over and they write letters and they tell you, man, I learned how to play guitar. I learned how to sing that song we wrote. And you realize you've given them something that they can carry on, something positive to carry on in the future, and they've got their story. And so instead of telling somebody their story, they just sing them the song. This is how I feel about my experiences in war and in my life, and it's a way to get it out.
And as David was inducted into the Texas Songwriters Hall of Fame, his whole family, there to celebrate, was still a bittersweet moment.
And right before we heard about all of this happening for me, my father was diagnosed with stage 4 bone cancer. And so he come to me and he said, look, I still got some time. I might have 2 years left. So I'd like to build a music venue. And we can call it the Songbird after your song, and we can get this thing going. I know you can do it. I think it'd be the best thing in the world for you right now. And I said, well, Dad, that's a big thing, to change your life. And so we're going to do it. We decided we would do it. And we're outside of Lampasas, Texas, and the place that I grew up where I wrote my first song. And 5 acres of land there, a little place that my dad has built. He's been there 50 years, and he built a home that is the most beautiful thing ever. He's a wood artist, so he built the inside of it. We're going to call it Lodge at the Homestead, and we'll rent that out for people to stay, and then we'll have concerts, and the venue will be called the Songbird. So I'm hoping to have that up and running by fall, to have our first show.
A full circle journey, a beautiful, beautiful ride.
But what else is there? I mean, I've asserted myself so much in my life. I spent so much of my life chasing my song, chasing my story, chasing my thing. And it's like now you're to a point where you start serving others and you see all these blessings and all the goodness it brings to your life. And you go, okay, I'm happier when I see someone else succeed. I'm happier when someone else does something. It just brings me a lot more joy. And I think it's a better way to go out.
Yeah. If you'd like to learn more about David's nonprofit, Texas Songwriter Relief Fund, or his work with veterans through Operation Song, you can go to our website, kcentv.com.
What a great story. Thank you so much, Lindsay. If you love Texas songwriters and music here in Central Texas, make sure to download the 6+ app. That's all part of bonus content we'll have there for free on your smart TV. We'll be right back.